How's it going, everybody? I am Celica. I think I passed. I want to talk about the best catchers in Baseball Clash. We're going to cover them real quick. We're not going to dwell on them for very long. I just want to talk about them because people keep asking about, like, oh, who's the best this? Who's the best that? And, like, pitchers are important. But, like, pitchers are kind of cut and dry, but it might not be too obvious which are the best catchers overall. Now, you may notice I just have a tier list up here already. But, you know, you can look at that, and if you look at it and you're good, then sure, you have now understood what makes, like, you've now understood what the tier list looks like. You may not know why. So let's go over them real quick. We're going to start with the obvious one, my boy Matthew. Matthew is not level 14 here because I don't have everybody leveled up to max. So the stats here are not going to help. However, I'm going to talk primarily about the ability, game calling. Velocity increases when the pitcher throws the ball into a called area. The way that Matthew works is that when a pitcher throws a pitch, uh, if they throw it into the little blue spot that Matthew wants, then the pitch gains 20 velocity. And that's really good for a lot of pitchers. Pitchers like Simon, this fool over here, who has, at max stats, he has the best velocity in the game and the best spin in the game. He doesn't need movement because his pitches all have a lot of movement already built into them. The Simon sweeper and the screw pitch, both of them have really big movement. And his control, he has this little mini game where he can just ignore his control, so he doesn't need help with it. So basically, characters like him really like the speed bump. Other characters also kind of like it. Some Fernandez players swear by it because Fernandez also has extremely high velocity, but they're also very good movement, so it benefits him. You also have pitchers like Murdoch, who doesn't have a lot of velocity, and it does make his Murdoch two-seam fastball and his circle change a little more deceptive. That does help. Riley, who has max velocity, max movement, also really likes the extra bonus speed. Not everybody really likes it, but the characters that do really do. Like, Josh enjoys it. Josh already has, like, some really good ways of throwing extremely fast pitches. It makes his four-seamer extremely deadly if it's thrown into the zone for a strike because it's very fast. Shotaro also really enjoys it because it shores up the fact that he doesn't have a lot of velocity to start, but he has to build it by throwing strikes. It lets him throw some strikes that are faster than normal at the start of the game. So all of those pitchers are really like that. Now, you may notice that the next one's Jessica. Jessica is a little bit more different. Jessica decreases the pitcher's ball control area. What that means is that the little dot where the pitch might land when you throw it is smaller. That's crazy strong. That's crazy strong for every reason, okay? The thing about Jessica is that if you throw a pitch and it has like a reticle, right? And it can land anywhere in that reticle. Jessica tightens it up and it's a fixed amount. And it's the highest amount that any catcher can give. There's one other catcher that also does that. And she's in the second tier, and that's Rose. But Jessica makes it remarkably small. And so small that she had to get nerfed, and yet she's still one of the best pitchers in the game. Now, she's not like overpowered anymore. I think Matthew might be overpowered. Matthew might stand in a league of his own. But I think Matthew and Jessica are like the two obvious ones. Obviously, pitchers who need the extra control will appreciate Jessica. Riley, who has no control, would really like it. Simon doesn't need it. Shotaro doesn't really need it. Shotaro wants other juice instead. But, like, for example, Nova desperately needs control, and Nova would like it. Fernandez, who is a heavy velocity movement pitcher, could appreciate a little bit more of the control, especially when his ability activates. It makes the reticle super tiny, so you can start getting really pit point with his pitches, which is very strong. Um, uh, actually, like, characters like Eric don't hate what she provides, because it makes him better. Garcia has like a weird love-hate relationship. There's a bunch of pitchers who are like on the cusp of being okay, and they would be more okay if they had more control. Jay obviously really doesn't need it. Jay would actually prefer someone like Ania to take advantage of the high spin and make it higher and stuff like that. But yeah. Speaking of Nia is one of the best catchers in the game also. Nia has remarkably good stats, first off, and also has a thing called condition reading, which is that she picks a pitch out of your repertoire to throw, and if you throw it, it enhances the pitch's spin. That does mean that you're kind of at the mercy of what she gives for an ability that only affects the quality of the hit. So someone still has to hit the ball. Matthew prevents the ball from being hit well in the first place by changing the timing of the pitch. Nia changes the result of the hit by increasing the spin and lowering the chances that it's a good hit. Less good than you think it is, but still extremely good. So Nia is extremely strong. She also teaches you to mix your pitches up very much because she doesn't tend to sit on a pitch for very long. And also, the computer's random, so you don't really know what pitch Nia is gonna call. So if you think people read you a lot when you're pitching, like if Emily is giving you trouble, just pick Nia. I think Nia is best on pitchers who already could take advantage of their high spin. Some pitchers just don't have good spin, and so it's not worth it. Right? Like I don't think Mei Ling or Jimmy do a great job. I mean, Nova can kind of get behind it, but like you really want to be in control of which of your 3 pitches you throw with Nova. But like Fern likes it. Fern will take more spin, right? Simon is a decent candidate. Having more spin never hurt anybody. Riley doesn't have a whole lot of spin, so it could be helpful, but there's better picks, you know. There's cases for it. Rose, everything that I just said about Rose applies, except I think Rose is a better hitter because she has higher contact, higher speed, and better fielding. She is a better defending catcher, which helps very rarely, but it helps. She has no arm. Her arm sucks, and her power is not there. But that doesn't mean that she doesn't hit for average. So she has some good tools, and also the fact that she makes your pitchers more accurate is better. Obviously, her throw control ability works best with Marie, but any legendary pitcher loves her. If you put her with a legendary pitcher, she's S tier, and if you put her with a not legendary pitcher, she's A tier. So that's just by default because it's a lot easier to get a lower level pitcher. She's just A tier by default. Kyle, we don't have yet. However, we can look at Kyle's stats. Kyle's stats are crazy. Kyle has extremely good hitter stats. He's in the power meta, and also he has a gun for an arm, and his speed and fielding, which can be low, are. He doesn't provide anything from the team other than an extremely good bat, and also he has this ability where a switch hitter who excels against left-handed breaking balls and right-handed fastballs. So like he has a very weird ability, and we're gonna look at it here. We're gonna see how it's described to us. We'll know more about the character tomorrow, but I'm probably not gonna pull for him. I'm not too excited about him. But if you notice, when he's left-handed, he is warned when a breaking ball is coming, and there comes the breaking ball, right? Slider, obviously. And his stats don't change much. However, when he is up against a right-handed pitcher, you'll notice that his stats change. He has different power. He has more power when he's batting from the right hand. 245 power base is really, really, really good. And if he sees a breaking ball, he hits it normal. You know, that's just how you're supposed to do it. But we're gonna see now what he does to a fastball next. So if he goes in here and then Roger throws a fastball, he gets a very early warning that the fastball is coming of some kind, and he can just muscle it out of the park. So he is a pure hitting catcher. He is probably a better hitting catcher than Murray. I say probably, like I don't think he's absolutely. So he is good, but he is very selfish. He doesn't boost the team. For the last person in A tier, I think Angelina is worth giving an A tier slot to because she increases the contact of the entire lineup by 8. That makes some characters, like I don't have Jiro at max, but this guy at max will be 222, and then I think he goes to 230. I think he goes to 227, or is it like 232? He's almost max. He should be max contact. He gets like 8 more. So like the reticle's huge. So it's very easy to get hits. This is very, very important for a lot of people who struggle sometimes with contact. But the other sort of weird thing that it does is that it makes your auto batting better. So for all of you auto batters out there, might I recommend that you pick a pitcher that doesn't need a whole lot of help, like a Simon, right? Try to learn Simon. And then even though it's probably worse for you in terms of pitching, try pairing Simon with an Angelina because it'll make your contact, your auto batting better. And like, there's a few people out there, like there's gonna be people out there who can't, they're not gonna be able to play a pitcher that's not Angelina, or like they're not gonna be able to play manual batting. And the reason they don't play manual batting isn't I'm bad. It's I am physically incapable of playing manual batting for whatever reason. Auto is there for you, and if you do want to like kind of like step your game up to the next level, I think Angelina is your pick. And I say that with like all the love in my heart, right? Like a lot of people should be allowed to play video games no matter what the condition is, and anything that exists to enable that and make it easier you should be able to do. Obviously, barring cheating. But Angelina is absolutely like a very strong option for people who have to play auto batting or who just want to play auto batting because you're not that serious about it. You still kind of want to win and you don't want to really learn manual batting. Maybe your hand-eye coordination's, a little screwy. Now we're going to the B tier, what I like to call like the you can play them, but Adder makes some characters really good. I think Adder makes Maria extremely good because Maria gets a throwing buff to your whole fielders, all of your fielders, but she doesn't throw very fast. She doesn't have a lot of spin, and she has extremely predictable pitches. However, you can pitch in such a way with her really high control. You can kind of like put pitches in really gnarly spots such that you can draw hits in certain directions. And with a good fielding team, Adder can really take advantage and like make everything suck, right? So if you're really good at making people hit a certain way, I know it sounds insane, but it's possible, then Adder and Maria, for example, are a great combination. Adder with anybody that likes to hit the contact and keep the ball on the floor, I think is really good. I think Adder and Murdoch would be an interesting combination that I don't see enough, and I wish more people did it. We're going to go to Carlos. Carlos is very straightforward. Carlos hits for power and has a big arm. It's almost impossible to steal on Carlos. Only characters like Antonio, Fox, those are like the only two characters that I think can actually steal on him. He just has a cannon arm. That's it. That's his whole thing. Cannon arm, big power. I don't see him hit a lot of home runs. I don't think particularly he's very good, but he does deny the running game, and like you can't really bunt on him because he cannons the ball wherever you think the bunt is going. And also, if you have to throw a ball home for a double play home to first, he is one of the best at getting that done because, yeah, he has exceptional speed and accuracy in throwing, but it's not just for, against stealing attempts where he does his little gun animation. It's also throwing anywhere from home. He just cannons that. Very strong, but like only in certain situations. He's not there. He's not as ever present as everybody else. Murray he's just like if there's two runners, he gets a bigger contact zone, and that's it. He's very slow. He has decent contact and power. Honestly, at max level, his contact and power is pretty respectable. He's like the OG cleanup catcher. A lot of people swear by him. I'm really indifferent. I don't really care about him very much. He's fine. You have better options, but like if for some reason you just can level him to 13 and you have no other catcher options, consider whether you're using a pitcher that needs a catcher, right? Like Simon doesn't need a catcher. He would like one. Fernandez doesn't need a catcher. He would like one. Shotaro doesn't need a catcher. He would like one, right? But like some other characters are kind of dependent. Like me running this underpowered Luna, I need accuracy buff so bad just to make her into a real girl. So it's your mileage may vary. If you don't need the help, you might as well. And now we're going to go to the C tier, which is like you could use them, and I see the vision, but And I think top of C tier is Victor, who is also a hitting catcher, but very narrow focus. The focus is extremely narrow. He can hit for contact, he can hit for power, and that's about it. He's slow, he can't throw, and he can't field. He's kind of bad otherwise. He's just Zangief from Street Fighter. So of course he has big contact power, but once per at bat, he gets to click a button and his bat gets juiced. And if you guessed right that was going to be a strike, you can put it into the stratosphere. He's kind of fun. He's fun like if you've learned the propensity for the pitcher to throw strikes and when, like what their cadence is. So he's kind of like a Brainiac character, but he doesn't have the easy Brainiac powers of, say, Emily, who just has to guess. And if she guesses right, she gets a buff and gets to know where the pitch is. I think he gets way less reward for it. I think they could revamp his ability, and it would be fine. And I think they could take some of his contact and give it to him in throwing, and I think that would be fine. I think that's like the easy fix for him. But he's like almost kind of relevant. Right now he's not. But hey, some people put him to great work. I think Smokey Bear does a really good job playing him. Next up is Ricky. Ricky is kind of mediocre overall, but he's like, if you're gonna play Ricky, you basically bat him lead off because he'll get really good contact and power because of the ninth inning troubleshooter thing, and then you just hope he does his work instantly. And if he does, he's got good value. He's pretty speedy. You know, he hits pretty hard. He's just a solid dude. Like, nothing crazy special about Ricky, but there's nothing terribly bad about him either. He's very average. I don't think he's a great catcher. His arm could be better, but like it's just like I'm saying, he's gonna get a buff to his contact and his speed in the first inning, like, and obviously in the ninth inning when you start the game. So you might be able to put him to use, and I think that's fine. And then finally on the list, it's Tony. Tony, who has really good throwing and who has a decent bat, and he teaches you to just basically look at pitches. Just watch pitches. People are gonna be weird. People are gonna pitch to him like normal because they're gonna know, yeah, when he's at 2 strikes, he gets power plus 30. But they're gonna throw a lot of borderline stuff. Sit until it's 2 strikes, no matter what. And then you actually start playing the game afterwards. He will teach you plate discipline because you won't have a choice because you want the free 30 stats. And that makes him actually kind of okay. Like, even at level 11, he'd have 183 power, which is very funny. He's usable. Like, Ricky and Tony are usable. The rare catchers don't exist. Don't acknowledge him. He's not there. That's not a real pit. That's not real. This guy only works if you're losing. And yeah, it's plus 60 stats if you're losing, but if you give up a run on the bottom of the 9th, he just doesn't get to do his thing. Like, he's weird. These characters, when team is losing, are like, not useful because there's situations where you can't be losing. If you're losing, the game is over. Right? So it's, I don't know. It's just strange design. And that's it. That's everything for catchers. I'll probably do a pitcher video because I have a lot of things to say about pitchers. But I hope that was helpful. I hope that you learned a little bit about Baseball Clash. I'm not going to do a fancy intro on any of these. I'm not going to do a fancy outro. You know who I am. If you want to go join the Baseball Clash Discord, I'll put a link down below. This is the game I've been spending all my time playing. I managed to get to B with almost no wins. And I hit 7,000 trophies. So if you think I suck and I don't know what I'm talking about, tell me in the comments. Tell me that I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, bye.